Hello everyone and welcome back to the plot. Today we're going to have a very productive couple of hours here as I prepare to leave the plot for a whole week. So first job on the to-do list is to harvest these potatoes. I wanted this space to plant my kale, and these potatoes are ones that have just popped up from potatoes that I left in the ground last year. We actually had a really good little crop here. Very pleasantly surprised by this. So I'm going to be away from the plot for a whole week and I'm a little bit nervous about it. I feel like everything is looking so good. Things are changing so quickly as well. And to be away during peak gardening season, yeah, I'm scared. But I think it will all be okay. So I'm actually going to be in Switzerland and I think I'll be flying back when this video goes live, but I'll be there for the Montreux Jazz Festival, which probably sounds quite random, but I actually studied music in university and most of my friends, well, if not all of my friends, are musicians, so we're going on a fun group holiday to the Montreux Jazz Festival, so I'll probably share some clips of that experience on next week's vlog. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit of Switzerland. Not a bad little potato harvest considering they just popped up from last year's crop. So next job on the list is to plant up in this bed, do a little bit of weeding of the Pentland Javelin potatoes and harvesting of some potatoes. I had quite a few green potatoes, ones that have been exposed to sunlight, so I put those in a separate crate and I think I'm going to try and use them as seed potatoes next year. I've heard that green potatoes are perfectly fine for replanting, so I think that will be quite fun. I'd also like to plant some of them to try and get a Christmas crop of potatoes. Let me know if you've tried that before and let me know what kind of potatoes you have planted for that. I think you can plant first or second earlies and they will crop around Christmas time if they're kept under cover, but let me know if that is correct. I've never tried it before, but I think it will be quite a fun experiment. going to be planting some French beans and a dahlia in this bed, and there will also be a little bit of space left for some direct sowing. But I'm trying to get better at successional sowing and filling gaps as soon as they become available. And I think I can probably get one more batch of dwarf French beans sown this month before their time is up. I didn't realise just how much I would like the dwarf beans. They're so fun to harvest and they've been producing such perfect, nice sized pods. So yeah, like I said in the last week's video, I'll definitely be sowing more varieties of dwarf beans next year, all the colours and varieties, and I'm very excited for it. But here I think I've got 4 of the green variety and 2 of the purple variety. That's just because that's all that germinated for this batch. And then the dahlia I'm putting in is a cafe au lait that has sprouted from an old tuber I found. And it's only produced like one little stalk, so I wonder if it will be happy here. It was getting quite eaten in my garden by slugs and snails, so hopefully it will get a chance at flowering at the allotment plot instead. It's not the best looking plant, but we'll see what happens. And in the gap around the dahlia, I think I'm gonna sow, I don't know, I've got pak choi to sow, some lettuce varieties, and I think I'm gonna try chard again. I have mentioned that I wasn't a massive fan of it, but I'm gonna give it another chance. Next up, I am clearing some space for some pumpkins to go in, so we're harvesting some more of the Pentland Javelin potatoes. These guys have grown so big. I was not expecting such massive potatoes, but they're really nice potatoes, so I don't mind. I think I pulled about 5 plants just to make a little bit of space for my pumpkins, and then in a couple of weeks I will pull the rest of the potatoes and put something else in there, and yeah, it will probably be something that I can direct sow. So let me know what else you are going to be sowing this month. I think in the past I've thought that July is like the end, we now just sit back and relax and harvest and that's it, but I feel like there's so many other things that I can be sowing now, like lettuces and chard and pak choi, and another one that I'm going to try is, I think it's called broccoli rabe. I've never tried that before, and I'm also going to try some choy sum. Yeah, they're all things I've never grown before, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. And I'm also putting an obelisk together. These things take so long, so long to assemble. Yeah, so this obelisk I will be growing my pumpkins up. I am going to be doing pumpkins. I know that last year was a terrible time for pumpkins. They all got eaten by squirrels. I'm trying again, and I will be planting 2 Jilby Littles up this obelisk. They're not the best plants, but I do have backups if these don't survive. Yeah, sorry if you don't like toads, but you have come to the wrong channel because I absolutely love toads, and finding a toad on the plot is always such a joyous occasion. I love them, I absolutely love them. Anyway, I'm just planting out my kale, which has been, very nibbled by slugs, snails, caterpillars, not too sure, but I've just stuck it in this little spot and hopefully it'll do well. I am netting it, but I'm using an old piece of net curtain, so hopefully that'll be good enough to protect them for a little bit. These metal hoops, they always pop up in the scrap metal pile at the allotment site, and I think they are so useful. I keep collecting them and I need more because I use them so often. Anyway, now I'm clearing this patch. These are my shallots, and I'm not too sure if this shallot harvest is a win or not, because these guys had like no roots left. They were just completely dried up. And are they supposed to be like that? Or is this bed just too dry and they were in like a spot that was too sunny and yeah, they've just shriveled up? I'm not too sure. Some of them were a really good, decent size, but others were minuscule. So I don't know if that was a decent shallot harvest or not, but anyway, in its place, I am putting my sprout plants, and again, my sprout plants look terrible, also been nibbled by slugs and snails, and they're probably very root bound. They're not looking too good. And I'm just going to stick them in this gap. There's 6 plants here, which is probably too many for this space, but I think I will harvest the closest row of leeks first, and hopefully they'll just get a little more space to thrive, but we'll see. Maybe these sprouts won't survive because yeah, they're not looking great, but if they do survive, I will probably build a better like structure around them, because when I went to harvest my sprouts just before Christmas, it was Christmas Eve actually, I came to the plot to harvest my sprouts, and a couple of days before they were looking so good. I was so excited, and then when I finally went to harvest them, they were all gone. So I think the squirrels and the wood pigeons had a right old feast on my sprouts the day before Christmas Eve. So yeah, that was lesson learnt. Definitely build a cage around sprouts. But yeah, for now I'm just netting them with the other bit of the net curtain, and as they grow I will hopefully get a cage around them. This is the elephant garlic that I'm harvesting now, and I knew elephant garlic was supposed to be big, but I didn't expect it to be quite this big. They are amazing. I cannot believe the size of them. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I think I've mentioned before, but they grow these like little knobbly bits, and if you leave those in the soil, they will resprout. So I'm just picking them off the roots and putting them back in the soil, and hopefully we will get some more elephant garlic next year from those little knobbly bits. But otherwise I will save some of the cloves of this crop to replant next year, and then we will just keep the cycle of the elephant garlic going, because they're very expensive to buy and you can't really get them many places anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna replant some of the cloves this autumn. Next, I'm having a quick whiz around to tidy up all my tools and bits and bobs, putting the perennial weeds that I've been weeding, pulling out into a old compost bag. Those I put in the bin, as in a general waste bin, not a green garden bin, or I don't compost them either. But annual weeds I will just compost, leave them dry out on the wood chip, or just stick them straight in the Dalek compost bin. Now it's time to go around and harvest as much as possible. So my broad beans are not looking good. They've got rust on them, and it happened very quickly. They were looking really good, producing loads of pods, and then suddenly they are, very, very rusty. So I'm picking as many pods as possible off these, and I didn't have time to actually cut this stuff down. On the other side you can see just how affected they are, so you can't actually compost this material now because the bean rust will lay dormant in the soil. So I should have noticed this sooner and cut them all back and disposed of the bean foliage, but yeah, I'm obviously going to have to leave it until I get back now. let's go on a quick tour of the plot. Once again, I didn't weed the very front bed, but I'll do that when I get back. We've got the beans and dahlia planted up, the pumpkins, here's my big harvest, the lovely beautiful straw flowers. I can't bring myself to pick them, they're just too pretty. We've got the kale. The tomato bed is crazy, but at least it's tamed now. The beans. Giant sunflower and sweet peas. We've got main crop potatoes, the dahlia bed. The beautiful calendula. The giant courgette, which is producing a courgette for me every time I'm here. I dread to think how many courgettes will be there when I get back. I absolutely love this calendula, and it's showing up very orange on camera, but it's definitely very, very soft in real life. But it just looks so pretty. I'm so happy I planted it both sides of the archway. Big step over the nasturtium that is self-seeded. The leeks are looking happy and healthy, and the new sprouts are in. There's a couple of little flowers growing in the bean bed, and yeah, my sad broad beans. The bird area is looking good. Raspberries are doing very well, even though I didn't want them there. But yeah, from this angle, this is what the plot is currently looking like. We'll see what it looks like in a week's time. Hopefully it'll still look really happy and lovely, and there won't be any disasters to come back to. I'm deadheading a lot of the cosmos, even though they still look okay. I just don't want them to go to seed while I am not here. There's also a really beautiful poppy in this bed, and I know it's gonna flower when I'm away, and poppies only seem to last like a day or two and then they just drop their petals, but there are a couple of flower buds on here, so hopefully I will see a poppy when I return. Oh, and the peas, they're starting to go over, so I probably will pull these in a week or so, but they've been really prolific, but I am kind of fed up of Monch 2 now. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and do all those YouTube things. I post 4 PM every Friday, and I will see you again next week. See you soon, guys. Bye.